JMC 6000 here on location, and what I'm doing in this video is comparing two similarly priced vehicles. In front of me, well actually let me just switch the camera around and let me show you. I have on loan from Ford this Ford Escape Active with every single option. We'll show you the list price here on the window sticker in a second, but I'm comparing it to the Mazda CX-50 preferred trim. So it's about as apples to apples comparison as I can get between the Mazda and the Ford Escape Active. So let me go ahead and let's look at the Mazda real quick. Let me show you the price on the Mazda, what it has. Again, this is the preferred trim, S preferred 2.5, about 100 and, I believe 87 horsepower. You can see the fuel mileage here, 24 city, 30 on the highway, 27 combined. And actually not too bad for an all-wheel drive vehicle. And then it is a total MSRP of $34,270. It does have a few options like the black lug nuts, the wind chill, pearl white paint, and let's see here, retractable cargo cover and the crossbars. As you can see here, this vehicle without the options is about $31,650. All right, so we have these nice options here. Again, this is about as close to the comparison I can get between the two vehicles. It does come with two 25/65 R17. Ironically enough, the Escape Active comes with the same size tires. Two 25/65 R17 Continental Pro contacts. It's Goodyear Assurance on the Mazda. Let's get a wide shot of these two vehicles from the front. And I'll try and get a shot from behind. I do got a pole in my way in the back of the Escape here, but it's about as best I can do with kind of like off the cuff video here. And kind of get a shot from behind here. Again, I got the pole in the background, but from what it looks like, the Escape is actually sitting a little bit higher than the Mazda. The Mazda, I don't think, has as much ground clearance as the Escape does, but it's a little deceiving because the Mazda does have the crossbar option on this particular CX-50. Got the Sky Active G symbol in the back. Ford Escape Active, all-wheel drive. Let's go ahead and look at the window sticker on this vehicle I have on loan from Ford. We just looked at the window sticker and compared it, but let me show you the window sticker of the Escape I have on loan from Ford. As you can see here, Escape Active all-wheel drive with every single option. This has a Tech 2 package or Tech Package 2. It has the floor liners, which almost look like Rhino lining, or not Rhino lining, but WeatherTech floor liners there. We have a first aid kit. All in, you're looking at about $37,000 for this Escape. This thing starts right at the same price as the Mazda at $31,000 before all the options. Let's go ahead and compare these two vehicles. We kind of looked on the inside. I'm sorry, we kind of looked at the window sticker. So let's go ahead. Sorry, doing this off the cuff here. Let's go. Oh, forgot to show fuel mileage. 26 city, 32 highway, 28 combined. So a little bit better. This does have the 1.5 3-cylinder MPC turbo on this Escape. But let's go ahead. Let me start off with the Mazda and kind of show you what we're dealing with here in the Mazda for comfort and convenience and everything else. All right, sitting in this Mazda here. I don't have the key with me, but let's go ahead and do some generalizations as we kind of sit in here and kind of feel everything that's happening. We'll kind of compare a little bit of rear seat legroom if we can, and the rear seat legroom as well in this Escape. But let's go ahead and let me just say this. So we have some soft touch up here on the dash. This is a nice padded area in the CX-50. Glove box right here. We have manual controls for your climate. It's pretty nice. Nice tactile feel for the climate controls. We have a gated, not gated, but a regular traditional shifter here with manual mode. This is to work your interface right here. This, unfortunately, is not a touchscreen. I believe it becomes a touchscreen when you hook up wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, but it's only a 10.25-inch screen, so it's kind of small kind of tucked far back there. Mazda really wants you to use their controls here and everything else. This is a steering wheel. Don't know what this is, but that's all right. Probably still needs to be cleaned. I mean, it just came off the truck. Info button to work with your speedometer. That would be right here. And you get a few gauges, but you still got analog, tach, and fuel, and temperature. So other than that, that's pretty much it. This does have adaptive cruise, which is nice. It does not have lane centering, but it does have adaptive cruise. And then over here, you got some soft touch on the door. It's pretty nice. This is kind of hard, but everything else on this door is soft touch and high quality. So very high quality interior. Love the cross stitch on the steering wheel here. Let's go ahead and look at the back seat room, and we'll compare that to the... Oh, it's not even unlocked. That would help if it was unlocked, wouldn't it? It probably would. Let me see here. Oh, there we go. Now I have it unlocked. All right, back seat room. Bear with me. Again, this just came off the truck. Back seat room is decent. This seat is not set to where I am. I think it can be adjusted a little bit better. But the back seat room is decent. There is quite a sizable hump in the center here. I can't even put there we go. My big old size 12 boot there. But we're going to compare the backseat room in the Escape here in a little bit, but I think you're going to be surprised with how much more room the Escape has over the Mazda, even though the Mazda looks bigger on the outside. All right. Now, I can't get into the back, but what I will do... Oh, well, I don't know. There we go. I'll fold the seat down, and you can kind of see back here, decent amount of room. In fact, I think there's more room back here in the Mazda than there is in the Escape. We want to put that back up. There we go. Now, let's look at the Escape and compare, because this is what this video is all about, comparing these two vehicles. Let's start off in the front here. As you can see, we have these beautiful screens. This is a 13.2-inch screen, so definitely a bigger screen than what's in the Mazda. Fully touchscreen, wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, and then also in the tech package too, you get a fully digital gauge cluster. So everything's digital in this gauge cluster in the tech package too. Again, you have adaptive cruise as well, and then fairly decent quality in Escape. This is all nice and soft touch. We have this silver trim here in the Active. This is soft touch. Decent glove box size. We have some stitching on the door. This is nice soft touch. This panel is soft touch as well. This has cloth seats only in the Active trim, whereas the Mazda has like a cloth and a kind of the vinyl kind of a cross mix together. Nice center padding on the armrest, door panels. And this is, I would say this would be about the same quality as the Mazda as far as up front between this and the CX-50. And then you get some cross stitch on the steering wheel as well. So I would say this is about the same quality between the two. Let's go ahead and go into the back seat room. Back seat room here in the Escape. All right, so I have this seat adjusted to where I drive, but as you can see, there is plenty of room back here. In fact, look at this. I can even almost fit my boot here in the center, and I can actually fit in the center seat of the Escape. That's how much room is back here in the second row, and these seats can adjust, which is really, really nice. Now, it does cut back on some room in the way back, which I'm going to show you right now. I believe the Mazda has more room in the way back versus the Escape. And if I can figure out... Oh, I got to do it this way. There we go. So you can see this is the way back room. It's not as big as what's in the Mazda CX-50, but it's fairly decent. It's on par with, let's say, the Chevy Equinox and others. a RAV4 and others. So it's a decent amount of room back here, just not as much as what's in the Mazda. But where you don't have as much cargo room in the back, with the Ford Escape, you have much more leg room, and I think more room and better seats for the second row in the Escape versus the Mazda. The materials are not as high quality back here. It's hard plastic. This is padded. But anyway, so that is the comparison between, a really quick comparison between the Ford Escape that I have on loan from Ford and then the Mazda CX-50. When you look at the two vehicles, they both start off at the same price, around 31 grand. And I would say they're pretty comparable. If I had to choose, man, that's a tough one. I mean, I do like Mazda, but what doesn't do it for me with Mazda is their whole infotainment system is absolute mess. You have to use that jog wheel and everything else. It's just a disaster. Versus the Ford, you have that nice big screen. Now, the smaller screen on the Ford, what's standard on the Active is an 8-inch screen. You at least have to get the Tech Package 1, which is only $1,000, where it rolls in the bigger screen, it rolls in adaptive cruise, lane centering. I mean, the Mazda doesn't even have lane centering, but the Ford does. So, I would say for an entry-level SUV, if you want to prioritize comfort and space for people versus space for cargo, go with the Ford Escape versus the Mazda. Now, if you want to prioritize cargo space and a little bit more versatility, the Mazda may be your choice. Again, they're both around the same price now. If you like big screens, feature content, everything else, definitely the Ford. So I would say just with the feature content, the screen size, and that tech package, the first one, not the second one, but the first tech package you can get on the Escape for $1,000, I think that really justifies, I would get the Ford over the Mazda. Don't get me wrong, I love Mazda. I love what they're doing. I absolutely love the way I think the CX-50 has a nice mean look to it. It sits wide and low. It looks great compared to the Ford. Kind of has a generic crossover look. Don't get me wrong, I love the way the new Escape looks, but compared to the Mazda, it just looks so much better. But again, for me, it comes down to comfort, convenience, and features. And for me, for the price, the Ford wins hands down all day long over the Mazda. Now, when it comes to predictive reliability and everything else, yes, you got to consider a turbo engine versus a non-turbo engine, but you can get a turbo engine in the Mazda CX-50. So, you know, it's either a toss-up. I mean, Mazda's 2.5 has good reliability, and the Ford's 1.5 MPC has yet to be proven, but from what I understand, it seems to be pretty good as well. So, that's a toss-up as well. But anyway, both are good vehicles, but if it was my money and my choice, for feature content, I wouldn't get an Active as loaded as this is, but maybe the Active with the first tech package, and that's it. It would be definitely the Ford over the Mazda. All right, well, you guys be blessed. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Remember, I upload every single Wednesday morning, every single Saturday afternoon. And guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Be blessed. Thank you.